Chris Brown joining us on the Western Hotline on this Buffalo Bills Football Monday. His appearance brought to you by Northwest Bank. For what's next, get started at northwest.com, by Volkswagen, Northtown Volkswagen, West New York's #1 VW dealership. Shop online at northtownvw.com. And by Lockport Outdoor Store, high impact gear for hardworking men and women. Chris, good morning. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
It's one of those games, Chris. We could start with the Cook's catch / interception. It feels like, and I don't know if this is normal for us now, these seasons end and the margins are slim, and you kind of have it's a family style meal. Take what you want, because really whatever you want to go for, you could go for here. And I guess we could start with the officiating and the call on the field of the interception from Jaquan McMillan, and your view of it.
Yeah, where we were positioned, that was our half of the field, but Cook's back was to us as he went to the ground. So, because we were opposite the Bills sideline, and it looked like a catch to me. I called it that way, and then all of a sudden, McMillan came up from the pile, or the pile up, and had the ball, and just went running around with it. I know that Walt Anderson, in an interview on NFL Network yesterday, said he immediately lost control of the ball when he went to the ground. But my argument is, if he's down, if his knee is down and he's downed by the defender, the play is over. So to me, that supersedes the whole completing the catch garbage and ripping the ball out. And we saw two instances of that this weekend on Sunday. Yeah. One in the New England game, one in the Rams game. So the biggest problem here is the inconsistency in which the officials call it. And that breeds inconsistency, breeds conspiracy. And that's what angers the fans so much. It has to be better. I know their job is not easy, but it has to be better. And the fact that New York and the replay assistant in the building ruled it in 7 seconds, I think just breeds further contempt and conspiracy.
I'm thinking about previous famous ones like Dez Bryant, where he caught it and dives for the end zone. They call it incomplete, like Dez caught it is a thing here. And
there was a Calvin Johnson one where he got up celebrating and they called it incomplete for some reason.
Right. I'm thinking of a Stevie Johnson play in Miami once where I learned that they apply different rules to receivers that they do to runners of the ball. You have to establish yourself as a receiver, and having caught it before being the rules of applied of a runner. So I don't know if it's as easy as making a cut and dried rule like, all right, 2 feet and a knee counts as control as you go to the ground, like.
Well, that's where I am, Chris. Like, to me, the way they have it, the language of it, or whatever the way that the rule is set up, the fact that we're evaluating things that are happening after the play is over. Like any other play, 2 feet and your knee is down, like you can't have a fumble. So why only on catches are we like, oh, this guy's out of bounds, and we're figuring out whether he did something while he's out of the field of play, and it's because of the way they write the rule.
Yeah. And again, I'll say 2 feet, knee down, touched by defender. Play over.
Right.
Like, how's that play not over? Like, whatever happened after that, to me, is immaterial because he's touched down by the defender. I don't care if the defender rips his head off after the play. It's still a catch. I mean, it does. To me, after that, everything else after that is immaterial and irrelevant to the play that was made. So that's where I come down on it. It just does not make sense to me.
After that play, right. Everything after it might be irrelevant. How about everything that happened before it? Because the Bills, of course, get themselves into a big hole in this game, dig their way out, and they had the ball in Denver territory deep with a chance to, I think, put the game away, make it a 2-score game, or at worst, make it an 8-score game. And the offense kind of falters there. You saw Allen with some misses, and he came out of this game maybe more so than we've ever seen before, feeling like he was the one that let the team down.
Right. And look, he missed some throws. I mean, I don't think you expect your quarterback to make every throw, but there were some key opportunities to make some plays, and he missed them. Part of that was due to traffic in the pocket. I think that's part of the reason why he misses Dawson Knox there. he had to alter the throw slightly, and he misses as a result. And there were others, too. He also had some beautiful throws. I mean, the touchdown to Dalton Kincaid to go ahead 24-23, that's an all-world throw because there is about 6 inches of room where he can put the ball in very good coverage, and he makes the play. I think the one that he's going to be kicking himself over for all of the offseason is running around with the ball like a loaf of bread at the end of the first half, where you gift wrap them 3 points with the fumble. It's just very, very careless. And, you know, I'm telling you right now, if I'm on the show today and anybody comes after the defense in this one, I'm going to light them up because 16 points allowed off 5 turnovers, including 1 turnover you didn't even have a chance to defend because it's gift wrapped and they come on the field and kick it. 16 points off 5 turnovers, like, it ain't on the defense, guys.
And who you lost in the game, too. Like,
right.
I feel like losing Dorian Williams on the opening kickoff, I know he's not exactly like a starter on all plays and all the time, but he'd found a really nice role, and I had been anticipating his role in this game being a big one.
And on top of that, Chris, like 2 touchdowns on 2 plays against Savage and Jackson, who weren't otherwise in the game, are also tough to swallow.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I even said it when he was injured on the opening kickoff. You know, Dorian Williams has become an important blitzer for them in their 3-3-5 nickel package, and he's no longer part of the equation. I mean, you've already found a way to persevere defensively without Ed Oliver for the balance of the season. He can't finish the game. And without Michael Hoyt, who in a game and a half showed you how lethal he could make the pass rush, you essentially use Dorian Williams and Matt Milano as the Michael Hoyt replacement, and they find a successful way in executing that, and he's out the first play of the game. It's just a microcosm of what the season was, and then you get kicked in the teeth because for one play when Tre'Davious White's in the medical tent, the other team goes after Dane Jackson and scores a touchdown, and, you know, Cam Lewis goes out with muscle cramps at the end of the first half, and they go right after Darnell Savage. It's not just a big play. It's 2 touchdowns. It's just the kick in the gut.
Yep. Bills fall to the Denver Broncos. New England advances, and they'll play Jarrett Stidham. You want to talk about, like, punches in the gut. There's another one that it feels like, you know, you didn't lose to Jarrett Stidham, but the idea that the team that beat you has been, whatever, weakened along the way, and now maybe your nemesis, your arch rival, at least one of them has, an easier road to get to the Super Bowl, which might sting quite a bit, Chris.
Yeah, it's interesting. My family had a discussion on what would be worse, going to the AFC title game and losing in New England, or watching New England beat a backup quarterback in Denver to go to the Super Bowl. And I kind of argued that you're thinking about that wrong. I understand with all our scar tissue, that's the wrong way to think because I believe that the Bills could have beat New England in New England next week if that wound up being the matchup. So I wasn't thinking about going to New England and losing and how that would feel. I was thinking about going to New England and winning. But now we're stuck with this, which is New England going to Denver with a trip to the Super Bowl, and all they need is to beat a backup quarterback and a very good Denver defense. I'm kind of hoping that Denver is inspired to rally around him. And, you know, we've seen it before. Jeff Hostetler with the Giants, Nick Foles with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like it's unprecedented. So we'll see what they can come up with this week.
Chris, is there one thing as we enter the offseason that you're thinking most, maybe from Saturday's game or the end of the season, that you're thinking that the Bills need to make sure they address or improve?
I don't know. I kind of left, looking back on this season, I think it might have been one of Sean McDermott and his staff's best seasons in terms of doing more with less, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The injuries were nonstop from the beginning of the season, and they just kept on keeping on. And to finish the season as the 7th-ranked defense in the league with what had happened to them, to me is astonishing. Mm-hmm. It's astonishing work. But by the coaching staff and the players that were still healthy and could play. And I think, the offense was still as potent as we thought it could be. I think there might be a few shortcomings here and there in certain weeks, but, Joe Brady again led a very productive group. I just think that there needs to be an influx of higher end talent to help support what the coaching staff can kind of tie together week after week. It was hard not to recognize the fact that in Saturday's game, the Bills had 3 Pro Bowlers, 2 All-Pros total on their roster, and I think Denver had 8 Pro Bowlers and 6 All-Pros. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of games where you look at those matchups and you say, man, like, Philadelphia, for example, and the Bills play them to within a point with a chance to win the game at the end. I mean, that's just amazing coaching. I think the team, as a whole, the Bills are better than the sum of their parts. I think they're one of the best teams at playing team ball in the league, and that's why they do have the success that they do. And that's all McDermott pulling that together and getting these. I mean, find me another coach with a team playing that hard without elite talent that has that degree of success. I don't know if I can find another team right now in the league that does. I mean, even the Bears have more elite talent because they've been drafting in the top 10 for the last 7 years. So, you look across that front, you look across the Rams receiving core. I mean, it's all world type players. The Bills don't have any of that, and yet here they are in the Elite Eight every single year.
Chris Brown on the Western Hotline. Chris, thanks for the time. We will talk in the future.
That sounds good, guys. And enjoy a little downtime here.
That's right. We'll see. Downtime.
Go Sabres.
End of season presser. Sabres game is at 1:30 today. You can hear it on the Bet 1520. Downtime. Now it's the time we get to work. Like really.
Yes.
The season is just like game, react, game. Now
thank goodness they are good.
It's time to get to work. Oh, the Sabres?
I needed them to be. Oh, right. You're saying get to work on that. Yeah.
I mean
on the Bills.
Get to work on the Bills. And I'll say this: like, as much as we're going to be disappointed and down and whatever, how many games do you think they'll win next year? 13?
Yeah,
of course.
10
Like
minimum.
I think we'll have another year of they're going to be good. How good are they? Does this matter? It's the point I made at the beginning of the season, which is the regular season is stroke play, and then the playoffs is match play, and you are losing in match play. So,
but it's official now. Like, your division is not a cakewalk ever again.
That's right. That's
ever
right. Which,
again.
If I'm silver lining this, then fine. But I think New England being what they are, if the GM and the coach are going to stay put, get the GM off his butt. No more conservative. You can't. Yeah, you got to make sure we're not cap strapped in 2027. Nobody cares, man. No, don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear we got to be sustainable. You got to get off your rear and get some better players, whatever it takes. You got to swing when you're sitting there at the deadline instead of saying whatever. He's done a really good job with this roster for the most part, but there's been a glaring problem and a hubris with it. And he's bought in as much as anybody. Like, if we have Josh, we should be fine. Like, nobody else is operating that way with their stud quarterback. No one. No one else does that. The Chiefs kind of lean on Mahomes for that. But at least they, tried a lot of pieces. So